Nimble with numbers!
I think I'll add that ending drop to my intro. Scott Simpson here at Nimble W Numbers on Twitter. Hope you're having a fantastic second day of Oktoberfest. Prost to everybody. I am drinking a Pump King Imperial Pumpkin Ale from Southern Tier. If you don't know, you don't know. If you do know, it's one of the top pumpkin beers out there. Cheers to you, my friends, this morning. Delicious. Okay. When you get off the horse or fall off the horse, you get back on. This is my third day of celebrating Oktoberfest. It won't be my last. I think it goes until October 4th, so watch out. I've updated my profile picture on Twitter. Thank you, Nina. Shout out for the challenge. It was accepted. It got over 100 likes, so, I had to pull the trigger on that one. If you want to Photoshop that one or meme that one or whatever, it's going to be around until October 4th, and then I'll get a new one up there. So appreciate all the love and all the memes that'll be generated. And Bo Big Time, over at the Bow Time, he knows a lot about things in people's mouth, and he said that he was going to put lots of different images in my mouth on those. So I can't wait for that. Love the Bo Big Time. He's my guy. I'm not going to lie. And his work is up there. If you want to win some money, you can go check out Bo's work up on nimblewnumbers.com. Anyway, what I'm here for today is the Milly Maker chase. Last week, I came up short, if not for trying, right? I had some good plays. Not my best play, actually, was from my man Bo Big Time. The stack of DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, it put me just below the money line. So I'm back this week. I've got a couple of different lineups that I've put forth using a couple different tools, a couple different, randomizers, optimizers, legitimizers, whatever you want to say. That's what we're working with today. Hey, Bethany, so glad you're here. Good to see you this morning. Shout out, Bethany. Sorry, Denny, I'm stealing her from you. She's a fan of mine now, too. So, I love Denny, by the way. No, I wouldn't steal any of Denny's fans, but I'm a fan of Denny's. Anyway, I digress. So if you don't know the format of the show, I am chasing the Milly Maker. Every week, I'm going to put a bullet in and fire one off and see what happens. Mostly it's because my family wants a lot of things, and I can't provide for them right now all the things that they want. If you go to my website right now, it's kind of up in the background. I'll list some of the things that my family, they want from me. A much, much, much bigger house. Adelaide wants a she shed, and she wants to be able to drive her motorcycle from the house to the she shed. So it needs to be far enough away, big enough property, to be able to do that. Sure. A huge yard so that I can spend all Saturday mowing. Yep, that's one thing that they want for me to do too. No neighbors, so my wife cannot garden. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Horse stables for London. And then, pools, big pools, lots of pools, full playgrounds, all those things. So I need to win the Milly Maker because the pressure, the internal pressure that my lovely ladies are putting on me, just to kind of survive day to day, So I'm here grinding right now, trying to get some viewers, trying to get some likes and some, followers and friends and all that kind of stuff. But then really I want to win the Milly. I'm trying to get that money so I can make my family happy so they can leave me alone so I can go back to talking to you guys on Twitter. I mean, that's really my goal. So here's my lineup from last week. I'm going to pull it up. The aforementioned Kyler Murray. That was a Bo Big Time play. Thank you, Mr. Bo. I had in Dalvin Cook. He did not underperform. He played well, scoring a touchdown. My guy, Austin Eckler, though, he did underperform. Terry McLaurin, underperformed. Henry Ruggs, injured. Looked great in the first half, injured. Hayden Hurst, his name was Russell Gage. So a couple misses there. Scotty Miller, not bad, double-digit points, but not what you wanted to put in the Milly Maker. So last week was a learning experience. I'm back again. I've got a few different ideas this week. I'd love for you guys to jump in the chat. Tell me what you think. Got a few friends in there now. Bo, I always love your guidance. So if you stick around for the next 20, 30 minutes, maybe I can hone up my team and win me that Milly. All right, so let me jump. We're going to jump to this week and some of the teams that I've put together using a few different tools and strategies that I've kind of come to over the past couple days. I have one site of Fantasy Points up right now. They're a great site. They started this year. Scott Barrett's there, Graham Barfield. They're outstanding. So I have a optimizer that I built, selected the players I think are going to pop off this week, who are going to do well, and put them in a couple different lineups. I also have Occupy Fantasy. They're a great site by Brian Jester as well. Use them to build a few of my lineups that are already in DraftKings. So I'm going to go back and forth and kind of share what I'm thinking, kind of run down some of the builds, some of the plays, understanding that the Milly Maker is different than any other tournament that you're going to be in, because if you're chalky, then you might min cash, but you're not going to make the Milly Maker. So some of these lineups are pretty, they're pretty, I'm not saying overdrafted, but yeah, they're going to be a little common. So, but we're going to get there. I see Bo's already barfing on the screen. Thanks, Bo. I appreciate it. These aren't the Milly Makers. Don't worry. These are the cash game. Some of the cash game lineups I have. So let's go back to some of the lineups I do have already inputted into DraftKings. A few different storylines that we're looking at this week. Particularly one is the Derrick Henry storyline. Derrick Henry is going to eat this week. I mean, he is going to be, I think, 3 times his value. Fantasy Points has him at a 3.5 value. I like that. I think he is going to be one of the best staples in everybody's lineup. He's going to kind of be like the entry card. If you don't have him, you're not going to be doing any business in the game. So for me, I think I'm going to be starting a lot of my lineups with Derrick Henry for the Milly Maker. I think he's somebody I'm considering just to have in there, because if I don't have him in there, it's almost like insurance. He's going to be in pretty much everyone's lineup, and I'm okay with that as a base to start with. Couple different quarterback options I'm considering. Dak Prescott and Matt Ryan are both in a game that Vegas thinks is going to shoot. I think everyone thinks is going to shoot. I don't want to play the chalk in this game, but I do like a Dak Prescott stack. I have him stacked up with Gallup. I also like a Matt Ryan stack, a Russell Gage on the back end, trying to be a little sneaky. So I have a couple different builds that are here, and I'm not going to just endorse each single one of them and say I'm going to go with just this one build. So I'm kind of going to pull from different builds and kind of talk about what I see different players and their value this week. And I'm going to kind of go by position. So talking about quarterbacks, I'm definitely going to talk about my top 3 quarterbacks who I think I'm pulling from: Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, and on the other end, it's a little bit of a sneaky play, but I think Josh Allen has some naked upside this week. So those are the 3 quarterbacks that I'm kind of majorly pulling from some of the lineups that I've built. I have other guys in there, but I'm not going to be kind of venturing too far out. I'm not going to be going to the Jared Goff world. I actually do think that a nice Kyler, DeAndre Hopkins stack again might be worth it. So my man Bowman Big Time says, don't miss out on Rodgers again. You know what? I have him in a few of my lineups as well. The only issue I have, and I was listening to Rotobahn with my man Pete Davidson earlier today. Shout out Pete Davidson. He is the man. Love Pete Davidson. Is if that game script gets away from them and they don't need to throw to Devonta Adams. And I think, maybe they're just going to air it out and go for broke, maybe. But I don't know if they're going to have to throw to him 12, 14 times this game. It might just be a game that they grind and they control. Aaron Jones gets more touches. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't think Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers are the truth. I do. I think last week showed that they're both really good, but they're also priced up. And so I'm leaning a little bit lower quarterback cost than Aaron Rodgers is right now, and Kyler Murray particularly. I'm liking. So Bo's predicting another shootout. I'm not going to disagree complete with that with you, Bo. There, I see that happening. I do like that game to shoot a little bit over the total that they have. I like Aaron Jones as a sneaky play. I don't think a lot of people are on Aaron Jones. I could see him getting 2 touchdowns in this game. It's going to be this for me. It's going to be Aaron Jones or Devonta Adams. I'm not going to play them both in the lineup. I don't think that's going to max the value there. So, sometimes you see the quarterback, running back stack. I'm not going to do that in this game. If I am going to do it, I think I would do a QB RB stack. I think it's like a little sneaky way to get value. But then you're paying up for Aaron Rodgers. I actually like Kyler Murray this week a little bit more than other people do. And here's the thing, he is quick. And caught myself there. Whew, close. The Washington football team does have a bunch of pass rushers and guys who can get after the quarterback. But they have just historically struggled with guys who get outside the pocket. I'm not sure if it's a new scheme, it's a new world, and Jack Del Rio's defense is just going to clamp down on Kyler Murray. I don't think so. Last week, Shanahan's defense couldn't clamp down on him. So, I do like Kyler Murray as a little bit of a sneaky play at QB. Not going to discount and overlook that. Also, though, I really do like Dak this week. And for me, I was a little disappointed to find out that lots of people like Dak this week, and lots of people particularly are on my guy, CD Lamb. I think CD Lamb is a great under, priced value this week, but apparently so does everybody else. And, the flashiest, one of the first top picks in the draft didn't sneak by you guys. And, he's heavily targeted, upwards of, over 25% in some of these tournaments. So, I'm pivoting in my stack. If I do go Dak, I'm going to be using Michael Gallup. I think Michael Gallup only had 5 targets last week. Undervalued, underappreciated. I think he gets red zone targets this week. There's no Blake Jarwin. We know that. They don't have an established red zone threat. My guy last night, Chase, shared with me the stat that they've really never targeted anybody over the 19% that Amari Cooper was targeted previously. So they are looking for a red zone threat to emerge, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Michael Gallup today. So I like that stack. I think if you're going to win anything today, you're going to have to stack something. You're going to have to either stack 2 wide receivers and a quarterback, or a wide receiver and a running back, maybe a little sneaky stack. Those are kind of where I'm thinking. I love that Bowman Big Time is jumping, and he's all over the chat. And he says Zeke all day. I do love me some Zeke. Yeah. So I think the way that there's 2 different models that are kind of unfolding that I'm seeing is you can go heavy RB at the top, where you have 2 of those top 3 or 4 guys, whether it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Derrick Henry, Zeke, those guys, and Aaron Jones type. You have 2 guys, so you pay up a little bit, and then your wide receivers are more value plays. You have McLaurin, he's priced down, he still could go off this week. Deontay Johnson at 4,500, that's just ridiculous. But people know about it. Everyone's seen these prices on players, so it's not like they're going overlooked. So we're not going to be too sneaky as we're playing around. My man Bo just jumped in again. Surprise, surprise, and he says CEH Milly winner. I'm not going to disagree with that. You know what? And with that being said, I am going to pivot over here to my unfilled in team, and I'm going to make that my first pick on the docket. CEH is in there. I'm drafting this guy. I do think he has a great game this week. He is there. Bo, I appreciate your guidance already. Look at Bo Big Time paying off. This is the extra money I paid you, Bo. If you wanted to know why I'm giving you a little bit more dap in the paycheck, man. It's great content like this that you provide for free to the people. And this is all for free, but you know what I'm saying. Bo Big Time, go buy his hot sauce. Listen, I'm not even faking. I've been eating this. I ate it last night on the podcast with Bo and Chase. I was showing it then. I ate it this morning on my, guess what, bratwurst and eggs. Surprise, surprise. Happy Oktoberfest. Bastidel, right? Here you go. So this is Hot Box Batch Hot Sauce, and you can get this at hotboxbatch.com. That shit's hot, and it's delicious too. By the way, I've got only 4 left, so I'm running low. Bo, my orders will be coming in soon. All right, back to the show. That was an impromptu commercial paid for by Hot Sauce for Hot Sauce. All right, here we go. So I'm going to put Clyde Edwards-Helaire in my lineup. He is my RB1. Right now, though, I do need to think about how I'm going to kind of attack the quarterback position here. I'm not going to pay up for Lamar Jackson. That is just, he's great. I could see him, being one of the top scorers. He was last week. I created a tool. I am a tool. I've got a few tools here. I've created a tool that I think is just helpful for me to use. And I put it up on the screen, and it is just a quick visual of how many points were scored last week and who scored them and kind of what their price range was. So if you look at last week's top scorers, Russell Wilson had 34.78 points. He was 6,500. Aaron Rodgers, 33.76. He was 6,900. So you kind of just see where those values were. Lamar Jackson was the 5th. He did score the 5th most points, but he cost the most. And so you really do want to find those guys that finish in the top 2 or 3 that have that kind of min cost. The cost is down. And so this week for me, when you go and you look at the cost, people are priced up. People are priced up. I talked about Aaron Rodgers being priced up. He's the 3rd highest at 6,900. That's not super duper expensive. I thought it might be a little bit higher. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Bo's throwing a little shade. Bo, who are you throwing some shade at? He's saying Matty Ice is going to be ice. He doesn't like him. Okay, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure Matty Ice is going to travel and kick it off like we think he's going to. I do like Russell Gage in this, but I'm not a huge believer in Julio at his price, especially in the Milly Maker. You want to find a little bit better value. By the way, I appreciate everybody jumping in. I've got lots of people coming in. You guys are the best. Keep up the good work, everybody. I'm really excited to be able to use all my tools, and these are really for me. I make these tools for myself just so I can kind of see. I'm a visual learner. I know that about myself. I need to see these things unfold. So my work in the XFL last year, I made a lot of cool charts, and I'm bringing them into the NFL experience this year. So this is out there. I can share this with people too. Bo needs me to change the colors. I can work on changing them next time, but not right this second. He says change font color, dude. Oh, I do need to on that screen. All right, Mr. Bo, big time. Here, how about I do this? I'll just move us up. There we go. Now you can see Bo. He's in the black on the screen. So this tool just kind of helps me look and see what are the week 2 prices. What did they do last week? So you see some of the overpriced, underpriced guys. I do like Josh Allen too. Playing him naked this week could be have a lot of upside. Bo gives me the. I appreciate that, Bo. Thank you, good sir. So just move my little icon so everyone could see what was responding in the chat. Yeah, sorry, terrible. White on blue. Not a great background for my comments jumping into the chat. So here is my thought going for QB this week. I do want to maximize my value, and I do also want to pair up players that I think are going to be popping. And so I'm going to go in this week. I'm going to run it back again 2 weeks in a row with Kyler Murray. I think 6,100 for him is a really great price. I really like that price. I'm just drawn to it. I think he could get a couple touchdowns. He could do well. And he might even get one on the ground. Last week he showed his feet. He was able to move and do what he needed to do. So that's something that could definitely pay dividends in the game this week. So I'm gonna go, and Bo, I'm trying to move you around so that you can be seen, my good man. You're up there. All right. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray, and I am going to stack Kyler Murray with DeAndre Hopkins. His target share last week was just so ridiculous. And, he is priced up. He's the second highest wide receiver, but for me, I'm going to pay that because I think he can maximize that value. I think the Washington football team is not that skilled at cornerback. I'm not a big fan. So Bo is in. Bo says perfect. I like that, Bo. And my screen share just kind of failed, so I'm going to jump out of that back to my beautiful face. And now, Bo, people can see me and all the comments. There we go. Back to me. All right. So pull up my optimizer. Here we go. So what I'm looking at so far at quarterback is Kyler Murray. My first running back is going to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm big on this game. I think he is going to come through. I don't have a second running back yet. I'm going to wait on that and kind of reveal as we go. For tight end this week, I really like Tyler Higbee a lot this week. I think that Jared Goff's offensive line is not that great. He does not have a lot of time to get the ball downfield. He did not throw the ball downfield that last week very much. At 4,700, he's not that expensive. He's in the bottom end of the top 10. I think he could pay off this week. So I'm gonna put Tyler Higbee in at tight end. Bo is barfing. Bo, sometimes you got to barf to win the Milly. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see if that changes since Bo's giving me the thumbs down. I'm also gonna jump in to wide receiver. There's a few different players this week that I really love at their price point, and then also at their just what the expectation is for them. One of them being Mike Evans. Mike Evans is going to get a lot of targets this week. He is priced up, but he's also priced down. 6,400 is not that expensive for Mike Evans. But I think there's a better player in that section who might get a little bit more run, and we'll come back to him in just a second. But I'm going to scroll even further down, and I'm going to be looking for Michael Gallup. I think he is going to go off, so I'm going to throw Michael Gallup in there. I've got DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Gallup so far. Those two guys are, I think, going to get a lot of run. I see a lot of touchdown potential, and maybe Bo even likes it. We'll see. Maybe not. And scrolling down even further for my third wide receiver, I really want to maximize value, and I want to look at game script and games that are going to pop. And so I am going to throw Russell Gage in there. I do think Russell Gage, has potential this week in a shootout to get those targets. We'll see what Bo thinks about that, if Bo's going to barf all over that. Gallup, he says yes. He's barfing. Who are you barfing on, Bo? You let me know who you're barfing on, and I'll get him out of my lineup. I don't want anybody who Bo barfs on. That'd be terrible to get a Bo barfer on your team. So, but, I like it. Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking for that second RB. I've got about 4,500 remaining for my next position. So, let me see if I put a defense in. I like the Buccaneers defense this week at 2,900. I last year they were the only team to hold CMC under 20 fantasy points in both games. That's a good value, but I also like the Rams against Philadelphia. I'm going to go with the Rams here. I really do think that the Rams have a chance to do some stuff with Philly. And my man Bo is pining for Rojo. He's calling for the Rojo. That might work actually, Bo. Rojo might work in this situation. Looking at the RBs, the question is, can I fit in Derrick Henry and Rojo? I don't know if I can do that. That might be too hard to do. Am I going to go top heavy, or am I going to go value play and then mid-level value play? What do you think, Mr. Bo? He's advocating for Rojo. It's his guy. Ronald Jones, 5,200. That leaves me with 5,700 for my flex, which I do like. It leaves me a nice player pool here. Starting with Marvin Jones, got Hollywood Brown in that section. Jonathan Taylor as well. And my man Bo says, Henry is my guy, though. Right. Yeah, so if you put in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's really hard to have all those studs. I put in Hopkins. I could go get rid of Hopkins, but then my stack disappears. I do like that. That's a great play, Mr. Bo. Run that game stack back with Gibson. That does leave me with a little bit more money to play around, so I got 1,400. I'm gonna take out my man Russell Gage. Russell, you're great, but I think I can find a little bit better value, a little higher priced, maybe wide receiver toy that I could play with. But what do you think about? And I'm not going to get rid of Ronald Jones yet, but what do you think about DeAndre Swift this week? I'm a big DeAndre Swift fan. I feel like that game script is going to be ridiculous. I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to go down and I'm going to save a couple $100. And I'm going to go Swift at 4,900. So, I'm rookie stacking for sure right now. I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Swift. He says no. Bo says no. Get out of here. Bo hates it. So Bo says no. Well, we'll see. I do like Ronald Jones. I'm going to go back to Ronald Jones. We've got 6,200 to go on wide receiver. We've got a lot of options. We don't have to use all of our cash either. We can make a bet here and maybe diversify a little bit compared to the field. So far, I'm at Kyler Murray, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ronald Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Gallup, Higbee, Antonio Gibson, and the Rams D. And Bo yelling no in the chat. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to my beer. Cheers. This is Pump King from Southern Tier. Happy Oktoberfest, everybody. That's great. Bo just let me know something. He said diversity is an old wooden ship. That is true, sir. I do need to diversify. I need to build that ship. The question is, which wide receiver here gives me the upside? I love Will Fuller. In a negative game script, getting a bunch of targets. I know that the Ravens D though is top notch. Their secondary, not stellar. They've lost Earl Thomas, but not terrible either. That they're going to run all over. I am looking for that value in this pick that can kind of set me apart. And so as I scroll through, there's not a lot of guys who jump out as having huge values. I got rid of Russell Gage. I'm looking at, I mean, dare I go another rookie and go Paris Campbell at 4,500? I feel like Paris Campbell could have a big game. That leaves me with so much money on the table, though, that I might even be able to upgrade my tight end. See if I get rid of Higbee here. Where does that leave me? That leaves me with Mark Andrews in the Baltimore Houston game. I like that. I like that. I know I don't have him stacked, but oh yeah, Campbell's not a rookie. I'm just thinking he's a rookie because he didn't play last year. Thank you, Bo. I needed that adjustment. You know, I got to when you drink all weekend and give stellar fantasy advice and listen to crazy stories from my man Chase, a fact or two slips through the wicket. So thank you, Bo. He's not a rookie, but this is his first full year. This is his rookie campaign, let's say. It's his sophomore. He redshirted last year, right? All right, so here's my Milly Maker team. I'm running it with Kyler Murray, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ronald Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Gallup, Paris Campbell, Mark Andrews, Antonio Gibson, and the Rams D. I updated the entry. We are all set. I got to tell you, I don't want to leave, but I've got a whole nother prop betting show to start in about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, right here on my Periscope. So I got to get ready for that. You know, I got to adjust my hat. I got to go for a walk. I got to do all kinds of stuff. So stick with us. Come back. Look for me on Periscope. Bo, I love you, Bo. You're the man. Thanks for jumping in. Bo's a effervescing part of the Nimble with Numbers experience. If you haven't caught on to Bo yet, what's wrong with you? I mean, he should have 10,000 followers right now. He did get over the 1,000 follow mark. Shout out Bo_Mick big time. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope I win the Millie. And if I do, party at my place.